All right, man.
They asked for marinades. We here with Chef Nick Seven CDs to do the Marinade King.
I'm chef like twice a year, man. So anyway, Greek, is much maligned, I think, because a lot of the stuff what you get in the States is not the real deal. The real deal comes from the island of Crete, and it is a lot more pork than it is anything else. So I'm going to show you how to make the best gyro you've ever tasted in your life, hands down. I mean, like, I'll put money on that.
He's telling the truth.
You tried it.
You hear it all the time.
It's the real
they have
deal.
these chef shows and they make this food and the person eats it and goes, wow, it's wonderful. And I'm thinking, this is the truth. I had it this Sunday off the chain from personal certified chef. Show us what we doing, Nick.
Oh, man, you come to my house when we make that, you won't be able to walk out when it's done. But... So the gyro is essentially was invented as a way to make use of the least viable economically parts of the animal. So you're making this out of pork butt with a little bit of pork belly in it. So you want the cheapest cut you can get. That's the best part about it. You need like 10 pounds of it. This is like $3 a pound. You can get it cheap. So what it is first of all, we're going to start with our marinade. All right. So you got to get yourself a mixing bowl. And this is oregano. Gonna add some oregano. You're gonna add a good amount. I'm only gonna add a little bit, but you're gonna want maybe half of that in there. But not too much, because oregano tends to make food a little bit bitter.
About a quarter cup.
Yeah, something like that.
Less than a quarter cup.
I don't do cups. I do eyes.
Yeah,
you know what I
me
mean?
too.
So paprika. Now, a lot of people don't know how wonderful an herb this is. This is amazing stuff. A lot of people consider it to be kind of like, a little bit. They don't know what to do with it. It's from over there. But I'm telling you what, this stuff is amazing. You're going to add some paprika. About the same amount as you did with the oregano. Next, you got cumin. Everything I said about paprika goes for cumin. Especially with pork or chicken. Don't be afraid of this. Ladies, do not be afraid of this. This stuff is fantastic. Throw in some cumin. Okay?
God.
Salt. Don't tell me nothing about no cholesterol, no blood pressure. You're gonna add salt. You're gonna add lots of salt.
Listen to the Marinade King.
A lot of salt. You're gonna add twice as much salt as anything else. On principle. And pepper. Lots of pepper. There we go. Now, next step. Put the lid on it. And shake. Shake. Get it all mixed up. Good. Now you got to take yourself a flat sort of. It's got to have high edges on the end, because we're gonna be stacking stuff in here. So get yourself something that looks like this. You can get like the ones made out of aluminum at Kroger's for baking and stuff. That works just perfect, right? So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna distribute our marinade on the bottom. Actually, no, the next thing to do, you also need some red wine vinegar. Squirt. You get a nice coating. So the whole floor is coated. You need red cooking wine. Again, you're going to use the whole bottle when you're done. Maybe, you're going to use the whole bottle. You're going to use the whole thing. Now, what you need the red wine for is if you put vinegar in a marinade, it's going to toughen up the meat. But the red wine does the exact opposite. It softens the meat. So you add, it also adds flavor, but that's what it's for. So you get a nice big thick coating on the bottom. Now you add your spices. Get the whole bottom of that pan coated. Just like that. Okay. Got that done. Now, this piece of meat is entirely too thick. Entirely too thick to use. If you have a deli slicer at home, man, that would make your job a lot easier. But who has a deli slicer at home? So what we're going to do is we're going to open this piece of meat up. Now, I'm no expert at this. The person who taught me was a freaking expert. He could make this piece of meat literally like as big as a freaking cake. I'm okay at it, not as good as he is. What you're doing, first of all, I'm trimming the fat because it's going to make it more difficult. But we wouldn't trim the fat. All fat is good, except the wrinkly fat. If the fat looks like a saran bag that's been crumpled up, you want to get rid of that. That's not going to go good. But nice flat fat like this is fantastic. So what you do is, you're basically going to the sharper the knife is, the easier this is to do. You see what I'm doing? You're moving the knife back and forth without actually cutting it, just pushing it to the right. You see what happens? You see how big that piece of meat gets?
That's a classic cut.
And there you go. From that to that. That is what you want. Now, the thinner you get it, the better this will be. So we're going to take this piece of meat, we're going to put it in the pan. We're going to do the next piece of meat. Exactly like that one. The guy I knew who could, like, this man would be able to convert literally 40 kilograms of pork into like gyro meat in like half an hour. We're talking like enormous quantities of meat. And you can use this for making schnitzel. You can use this for all kinds of stuff. The thinner the meat is, the better the marinade takes hold. Look at that. See that open up? Put it in here. Quite simply, next, you're gonna completely coat the bottom of that pan with meat. Make it like so you can't see any pan. And then you add more vinegar again, and then you add more cooking wine again. Coat everything, and another layer of spices.
How long do you let it marinate?
Overnight.
Overnight.
The next day.
Cook as desired.
You can cook it as desired. The way we do it is you take this and you build a cone using this machine right here. You stack it on this right here. Now, this machine is probably not something that everybody owns. I mean, it's a tribute to my gluttony that I actually went out and purchased a $400 vertical broiler because I just couldn't live without, But you can do it on a horizontal one that can be converted from your grill. But it's not going to be quite as good because the fat is going to melt off and into the fire instead of on this. The fat melts on itself and just coats the bottom of it. And you want to put the fattiest pieces up top for that exact reason. You basically build a cone about, like this. This one will hold about 15 pounds. If you need more than 15 pounds of gyro, you're not going to live too long anyway. But now this is going to be a little different for Americans. When you turn this on, it's got to cook for like 3 hours before you can do anything with it. And then you take your knife and you cut off the pieces that are cooked like that. And then you let the inner pieces cook some more. The whole thing is not going to be done at any one time. You just slowly shave off what's cooked and you make sandwiches for the whole day. How's that sound to you?
Sounds good to me. You're the marinade king. I'm following you and I'm learning. Hey, as a cook, you learn. You never stop learning. You don't have it all together, so I'm great you're here.
I'm not a cook. I'm like one of those guys in a Zelda game that only has like one thing to give you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and that one thing is good, man.
Hey, man.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate
no problem
you.
at all, man.
Nick Said Mercedes, Invito personal chef Anthony Jordan.
Nick Said Mercedes, professional glutton, right here.
Thank you. All right.
I think we got it, brother.
You good?
Look at it. Look back through it.
I'm gonna be a surprise, man. You
Okay.
ready? You
all
do
right.
it your way.
So you're gonna have to send it to me.